YouTube! What's up? Fantasy Football Perspective. Lucas speaking, here with another video. Welcome back to the channel. I feel like it's been a second since I actually filmed other than shorts. The first in-season video of the year. And this is the weekly series that I've been kind of broadcasting over the last couple of videos. This series is called Hit or Miss. Hit or Miss. So, what this series is going to entail is pretty much my weekly projections of whether the running back, receiver, or quarterback is going to either hit their projections or miss their projections. For the running backs, I'm just going to take this Fantasy Pros weekly rankings 1 through 24. I am going to go through it and say, are they going to hit the projecting rankings? I'll get more into the nitty gritty once we get into the video. I'm going to do the same thing for receivers. I might just do the top 15 or 20 receivers, and then we'll do the 12 quarterbacks as well and see if they're going to hit or miss based on the rankings. I didn't want to just do a cookie cutter. Here's my weekly rankings. Do what you want with it. I'm going to use just the same material out there for everybody. That way, I can go through that and you can kind of see where I'm going when I'm kind of dissecting the material out there. Fantasy Pros is a good tool. As I always say, do your own research when it comes to this kind of stuff. And that's where you'll have the most success. Use my videos as some of your research. Come to the conclusion for yourself. I'm going to be keeping track of how I do on a weekly basis. Without further ado, hit that sub button, please. Had my first viral short video. Don't really know exactly what happened. Broke out for 13,000 views randomly. Wasn't even that special of a video, but exploded. Somehow I hit the algorithm. So I hope to do that in one of these longer videos. Maybe this is the one. Hit or miss. Welcome to the series. Hit that sub button. Intro. Let's go. All right, so let's dig into this content. So first and foremost, when you're talking about a running back one in a PPR format, we have to establish a baseline of what I consider to be a hit. We're just going to use previous year's data to kind of pick and choose what we want that number to be. Before looking at this data, I was thinking the number 15 points per game. We'd call that a hit for the week. But it looks like the average RB1 last year hit 16.57 points that week. So we're going to use the 16-point value as a hit for RB1. For an RB2, we're going to use the number 12. Let's do we'll say 10. We'll do 10 and 16. We'll kind of adjust as the season goes if that becomes too easy. For the receivers, they use 17 points. They actually score more than the running backs on a week-to-week basis, at least it did last year. Our wide receiver ones did. So let's use the number 17 for that. So we're going to use 16 for RB1s and 10 for RB2s. And we're going to say 17 for wide receiver ones, and we'll say 12 for wide receiver twos. And for QBs, when I get into the QBs, I'm just going to make this easy. I don't really have any data to go off of, but I'm just going to project if they're going to hit that magic number of 20 points for that week. So let me show you a little bit how this is going to go. We're going to start off with the wide receivers. This is their week 1 fantasy football rankings, PPR format, of course. That's all I plan. And let's kind of get into this. So we look up here. They do their matchup ratings and everything. Start, sit. We have that available, but I'm kind of going to ignore that. I'm just going to give you some insight. Week 1's a little bit difficult because we have no idea how good the defenses are going to be. We honestly have no idea a lot of these teams' usages, so it's really a crapshoot. So I do expect to get better as the week goes. So we're going to call RB1s from 1 to 12 here, and I'm going to say hit or miss if they're going to hit 16 points per game. 16 points a game this week. Christian McCaffrey versus the Jets. I think that's a pretty safe hit. Dalvin Cook at Cincinnati, I think that's a hit. Camaro versus Green Bay, that is also a hit. A little bit of insight with this. I do think Green Bay is going to come out early, kind of get, a 21-7 lead, something like that going into halftime, 21-10, forcing the New Orleans Saints to kind of get into a passing game script in the second half. And I think Kamara's going to feast, have his normal 6 or 7 receptions. Easy hit. Derrick Henry versus the Cardinals. I'm going to say hit. This is when it starts getting a little bit hairy. Aaron Jones versus the Saints. This is going to be my first miss of the week. I think he's going to fall just short of that 16 points. I think A.J. Dillon, especially at the beginning of the season, is going to have a bigger workload than what people expect. I know they just paid Jones a lot of money, but I think at the beginning there is going to be some sort of split. Then we'll see after about week 5 or 6, they're going to recognize that Aaron Jones is an elite type back and he's going to start getting featured more. That's kind of my prediction. So I think expect a little bit of a split at the beginning. So hit, miss. Eckler, I'm going to say hit, kind of for the same reason as Camara. I think they're playing an elite defense that's going to shut down the run. It's going to put them into a passing game script, which is what Austin Eckler is going to feast in. He's going to get 6-7 receptions for 50 yards. That's 12 points right there. If he does anything on the run, he's going to hit that 16-point threshold. Jonathan Taylor versus Seattle. This is a tricky one too, but I do think he's going to hit this week. In the years past, the Seattle run defense has not been that stellar. And I don't know what the split of the Indianapolis Colts backfield is going to be. But if I had to guess, I think Jonathan Taylor, especially week 1, it's going to break off a long run, score a touchdown. He's going to be a hit. He's going to hit over the 16-point threshold. Ezekiel Elliott at Tampa, I'm going to say miss. Tampa's an elite defense. I just don't think he's going to get to that 16-point threshold. I think they're going to be in a passing situation pretty early into that game. And I think they're going to be trying to push the ball down the field instead of little dump-offs to Zeke. Would it surprise me if he hit that 16-point threshold off a little bit of screen passing and stuff like that? No. But my projection right now is he's not going to hit there. Joe Mixon, I think he's going to hit. I think that they're going to use him as a 3-down back, especially at the beginning of the season. And I think he's going to hit that 16-point threshold most weeks. Antonio Gibson, I'm going to say hit. I think that the Chargers' run defense isn't that great. I'm still curious to see how much work J.D. McKissic gets in that backfield. But right now, I'm going to say hit. He is going to hopefully get some passing work. But if they stick to that same script as last year, he could be a bit overrated for the season if J.D. McKissick's stealing that pass work. More to come. Nick Chubb at Kansas City. This one's right on the fence for me. I'm going to say hit. I think they are going to try to establish the run. I just think he's going to break one off. I think he's going to be right up that 16, 17, 18 points this week. Najee Harris at Buffalo. I also think he's going to hit. From all reports I'm reading, he's going to get the pass work too, which should indicate, 5, 6 receptions. If that happens, he's going to have no problem hitting that 16-point threshold on a weekly basis. All right. So that's the top 12. Recapping. Hit, miss, hit, miss, hit. But I'm pretty nervous about him. I'm going to say hit. That's kind of my projection. So now let's go to the RB2s, 13 through 24. We'll do kind of the same thing, but their threshold is 12. I think he's still going to hit. I think he's going to be limited in a while, but I still think he's going to score 14, 15 points. That's my guess. He's going to get 4 or 5 catches. It's going to just push him over that threshold. If it comes out before the game that he is going to have a limited snap count, take him off your starting roster this week because he's not going to hit. James Robinson at Houston, definite hit. I think he's going to be more up here than down here, especially week 1. Clyde kind of banged up week 1. Is he going to be limited? I'm going to say miss because of that. Miles Sanders, I'm going to say hit week 1. Atlanta's defense isn't stellar. We'll see. We'll see. Atlanta's defense did get a little better towards the end of the season, but we'll see. We'll see. Kind of concerned about his backfield. Seattle, Chris Carson versus Indiana. Great defense. I do think he's a hit. 12 points. I think he's going to get there. There's been no reports about a split or anything in camp, so we'll see. Mostert at Detroit. I think that's a hit. Mostert scores a lot of points when he's healthy. He's healthy. Detroit's a bad team. Hit. Mike Davis at Philly. Pretty much the same thing about Mostert. If he's healthy, he's going to score. Should be the workhorse. Hit. Montgomery. Hit. Workhorse. Josh Jacobs. I'm going to say miss. I think they're going to be down. I think Kenyon Drake's the back that you want to start this week for the Raiders if Kenyon Drake's actually getting all the pass work. Swift. I'm going to say hit just because I think they're going to pass the ball a lot. And I think Swift is going to excel in that role. Gus Edwards. It's a bad matchup, huh? I still think he's going to hit. I think Lamar Jackson's going to open up a lot of running lanes for Gus Edwards. I can see Gus Edwards having 1 to 2 touchdowns this week and hitting. And last but not least, Myles Gaskin. I'm going to say miss week 1. He's not quite going to get there. I still think they're going to not be able to solve the 3-headed running back catastrophe in the Miami Dolphins backfield. And until they give Myles Gaskins the key to the Ferrari, I'm kind of avoiding him. And I think that's going to happen fast because I think they're going to realize he's the most effective back. So, let's go through this again. We're going to go hit, 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 miss, hit, hit, miss, hit, 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 miss, miss, hit, 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 miss, hit, hit, miss. That's where I'm kind of going to stand with that. All right, moving on to the receivers. Top 12, are they going to hit 17 points? Yep, 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 yep. Potentially, no. I don't think Allen Robinson is going to get to 17 points. Jan Ramsey's a hell of a corner. I think he's going to shut him down. Robert Woods, I'm curious, 17 points. I think he's going to get right in that miss. So I think the top 10's a hit to get 17 points, and I think Allen Robinson and Robert Woods both fall short of that. 13 through 24, I'm guessing they need 12 points. Hit, I think they're going to be in a negative game script passing the ball. Hit, hit. I love his matchup this week. Mike Evans, there's been good reviews out of camp this year. Big time hit. I'm guessing 2 touchdowns for Mike Evans. Bold prediction of the week. Cooper Kupp, 12 points. Yeah, he's going to hit that. Chris Godwin, if he's getting 12, Godwin's going to get 12. They're both going to get theirs. Deontay, love him this week. A fire matchup, huh? Fire matchup for Deontay. I still think he is. I think he's going to get your solid, 8 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore, hit. Tyler Lockett, hit. Maury Cooper, hit. Higgins, hit. Thielen, hit. Ayuk, hit. I really need to raise that threshold for wide receiver twos. Most of these guys should hit that 12-point threshold. We'll get into that next week. We'll see how we do this week. And if I'm hitting everything, that means the threshold's too big. So I need to kind of limit the parameters a little bit. All right, so recapping, first top 10 receivers on this list, I do think they're going to hit their 17 points. Robinson and Woods, I don't think they're going to hit their 17 points. Then for our wide receiver 2, 13 through 24, they have to hit 12 points. CeeDee Lamb's going to hit it. Julio's going to hit it. Mike Evans definitely going to hit it. Cooper Kupp going to hit it. Godwin going to hit it. Deontay going to hit it. Moore, Lockett, I think they're all going to hit it. Now I'm looking at it. Some potential sneaky wide receiver ones this week just based on their matchup. Deontay, love him this week. I love Mike Evans as well. I like Chris Godwin as well. If Dallas's defense is anything like they were last year, then Tampa Bay should just eat them alive and score at will. I like the Dallas receivers a little bit because I do think they're going to get blown out, which makes me think that they are going to be passing that ball in the second half, kind of like they did last year when they were on record pace. So some garbage time touchdowns from Amari and CeeDee Lamb are not out of the realm of possibilities. All right, last thing, QBs over 20 points this week. Hit. I hate that Patrick Mahomes is going to hit. I'm a Browns fan, but he is going to hit 20 points. Lamar's going to hit 20 points. Kyler's going to hit 20 points. This is a sneaky one. Josh Allen versus Pittsburgh. I'm going to go on a limb and say miss. I think he's going to go right under. He's going to score like 18 points versus Pittsburgh. Wow, I can't talk. They are hosting Pittsburgh, so it's at home. Give him a little bit of a bump. Still 18 points, right under it. Seattle and Indiana, I think he's going to hit. I think he could potentially be the top scorer of the week, Tom Brady. I have him and Lamar in one of my leagues. I'm kind of leaning more towards Tom this week. I might change that last second. We'll see. Rodgers at New Orleans. I still think he's going to hit. It's a hard matchup, but he's going to hit still. Prescott. Just that garbage time stuff. I'm going to say miss, even though that I think there's going to be some garbage time touchdowns. I think he's going to be anywhere from 15 to 18 points. Hurts should hit. Atlanta's defense, I looked into it a little bit. They are a little bit better than I gave them credit for when I was talking about the running backs. But Hurts' run game should give him a solid 6 points by himself, 60 yards. On the run, 6 points. He should hit that 20-point game this week. Tannehill hit versus Arizona. I like that a lot. He's a sneaky FanDuel pick this week. Justin Herbert versus Washington. I'm going to say miss, right under again. Washington's a tough defense. I think they're going to cause a little bit of issues. Kind of similar to what the Patriots did to Herbert last year. I think they're going to get pressure up the middle and be in his face, which makes me think that game is going to be a little bit of a sneaky pick. I think Washington might upset the Chargers week 1. And then Stafford hit versus Chicago. I know Chicago's defense is good, but I think Stafford's going to hit that. So, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit. So, I will keep track of how I do on a week-to-week basis. I'll make adjustments accordingly. I will get better at this. Maybe I can find a different format so I can you kind of drag and drop players to the hit or miss kind of board. I'll look into some stuff. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see how I do. See if comment below and see if you guys think I missed anything. Can't wait. This is like Christmas for me. NFL season's here. We're deep diving into this DFS stuff, just deep diving into fantasy football overall. I want to see all of my subscribers win their leagues, at least get into the money. I hope you all had good drafts. I hope you guys all had a good holiday weekend. We're back on that grind. 2 more days until NFL football Thursday night. 2 more days. We did it. We made it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I hope you all have a great night. Lucas checking out. Peace.